Okay? Now going to your luminance. The simplest way to think about light fixture is to think of a shower head. I know it's a crude picture, but think of a shower head. You know, the amount of water that comes out of the shower is the rate at which it comes out, right? That's the gallons per minute, the rate at which it comes out. But that is not necessarily the same amount of water that falls on your tile, correct? Because there are a lot of different factors. One, height, there could be some movement, there could be some splashing and whatnot. So think of this and now take this to a light fixture, or any light source for that matter. The amount of water that comes out of a shower head is equivalent to the amount of light that comes out of a source, either a light source or a daylight source, right? And that's called luminance. Luminance is the amount of light or lumens that comes out of a source. It's slightly complicated because it's not only emitted, the amount of light that's emitted out of a source, but it's also the amount of light that transmitted and reflected off of a source. Because for right now, I could consider that as a source of light. This is a source of light. But this is also a source of light because this gets reflected right from there and hits to my surface here, right? So luminance is a very complicated subject. It's not as simple as how much water that falls on my tile. The equivalent to that is illuminance. How much light falls on this surface? That's very, very easy to find. That's what this digital meter is. And this is your homework for next week. So, finding out illuminance is very easy because we have these are pretty handy digital meters that will help us understand how much light that falls on this. Because when you're trying to find how much light that falls on this, you don't care about what source it is. Because right now I have this source, I have that source, I have reflection, all these different things. So I don't care about all that. I just want to know how much falls on this. Yeah, our entire lighting design depends on this illuminance, which is not right to some extent, because our lighting designs don't think about all the rest of the stuff, rest of the lighting phenomenon that happens in the interior world. Our goal typically is to say, I want 50-foot candles, throw 10 fixtures, I'm done. So we should be thinking more than just that.
Is it illuminance? How much surface light is reflected off of the surface?
That's luminance. Luminance.
So that's the same as like a light bulb.
Yes.
But it's not actually right because it's a source of light.
Right. Luminance. Another way to think about it is luminance is equal to brightness of a surface. It could be a source, or it could be a surface. That's the easiest way to think about it. So far good. Okay. And the units are candelas. Comes from candle. Candelas per square meter. And I think the American units is foot lumbar, I think. I'm not sure. But I don't even go into that because it's complicated. So candela per meter square is easy to understand. And some energy or daylighting analysis programs will use that term, use another term called NITS, N-I-T-S, which also stands for luminance, candela per meter square. Yep.
So the foot candle requirements for specific tasks could vary depending on the age of the person doing the task.
Yes, certainly. And I will talk about that next, right after that. Before we get into that, another important unit of measurement that we have to understand is the relationship between lux and foot candles. Foot candles is what the American standards, this is the SI standards, lux. It's basically the amount of lumens per square feet. That's the illuminance. Approximately 10 lux is equal to 1 foot candle. And the reason why we need to know this is these the programs that we use invariably use these two terms all the time, 2 units all the time. So rather than trying to figure out how to convert, which unit to use, just understand the relationship between them. so it's easy to use, easy to go by any of the software. Okay, it's not exactly 10, it's actually 10.71 something, but it's close enough for our calculations.